You just discovered what it takes to become a legend. Grab your eye. Let's mobilize.
How's it going, everyone? It's HandlelessTML back with another Cyberpunk 2077 video, and in today's video we're going to be using the Retrothrusters in combination with the Fortified Ankles, the epic versions that allow you to float, to explore a couple of places and to escape Arasaka Tower using Johnny. And we're also going to be looking at, seems to be a, I'm going to assume a cut section of Arasaka Tower that could have been used as an alternate escape route, similar to what we found in Compeki Plaza. So I've already explained in a previous video what you can do with the Retrothrusters in the epilogue. So you want to travel to Arasaka Tower first. And where you're going is actually the Arasaka Tower Memorial, which is the site of the first tower and some of the destruction that remains there. It's from Johnny's Attack 2023. So you can come in here and you'll see that all of these walls here are blocked off. You can't actually access that bottom section. I'm going to show you how. Here you go. All you have to do is go through the sign there and you clip right through the wall. I'm just going to assume it's an oversight on developmental oversight. They probably forgot to make this wall solid. I can see, I wouldn't be surprised if something like this were patched out. So you come down here, you see a working computer setup. Same one that we see in a lot of other places throughout the game with the same Meatman story. It's got a date of 2077, so that tells me that this probably wasn't an area we were meant to be able to explore like this. So the area that you want to go to is actually through the double doors, and you want to go up to this yellow pillar here, and you see this wide window there, or this, I don't know if it's supposed to be a window, but it's a hole. And you can just go through it, and you are now under the map. And you are free to explore whatever you can reach from here. But the reason that I wanted to bring the Retrothrusters with me is because there's actually a section of Arasaka Tower that you can reach from here. And using this, I'm actually going to show you how to get in and out of Arasaka Tower. And I'm going to show you how to do it during the ending while you're playing as Johnny, or rather Johnny taking over V's body, and you'll be able to explore the map doing this as well. So if you go over here, follow the path that I'm walking right now, you'll see this structure over here. And this is actually the lower levels of Arasaka Tower. And what you want to do is use the Retrothrusters and the technique of hovering and constantly using the super jump with the Retrothrusters to hover your way over to the taller side part of the structure. That lower part, it actually, if you land over there, you'll clip through the stage, so you may want to be careful there. Now this section here that we're in is Pan Am's ending, or parts of it. So you just want to avoid that lower section there, you'll fall straight through the stage. There's a way in there, but I won't be going over it for now. So now we are in the Netrunner operations section of Arasaka Tower. And I'm currently playing as Johnny doing the rogue ending, and I have the Retrothrusters. So you want to go into this room here, and you'll notice there's also a room back here in the corner that's really dark when you go inside. And initially it doesn't look like there's much, but when you look up here in the ceiling, you'll notice there's an opening, and you can't actually go through there. But even more interesting is on the ground here, you'll notice an exit shaft, and when you crawl through it, you'll find what appears to be a cut room, possibly. You'll notice it connects to the Netrunner operations section. There's another exit shaft here, but obviously we can't crawl through there, and when I attempt to interact with it I can't, but you can kind of see through it to make out what's on the other side. Most interesting is to throw grenade into ventilator here that's just kind of floating there. As you can see, I have a grenade, and I attempted to press the button to throw a grenade in there, but it wouldn't let me. Now on the way out, this one's a bit hard to miss, but if you look up here, you'll see a hole there that you can actually crawl through. You can use a super jump or double jump to get up there, and once you're on the other side, you have actually made it out of bounds. You're on the outside of Arasaka Tower, and you can actually use this to make your way out of Arasaka Tower. And there's probably a lot of ways to do it, and it's a bit difficult to traverse here, and it's going to take a lot of parkouring. It took me hours to figure out a way to get out of here. I'm going to show you my method. You kind of want to hug this wall that I'm jumping against. You really just want to make sure you stay against that wall as you're jumping, because there's a slight ledge at the bottom of it where you can still walk across, and you want to stay along that. Now over here we're noticing the shaft from the other room that we found there. I'm going to go into photo mode to show you there's nothing that is on the other side of that wall. You can't see through it. So it seems like it was hidden by a shelf, but that's not all we have. See another exit shaft, and this time it has a ladder attached to it. Now we can jump on top of this one, and it is also blocked off by another shelf, so you actually shouldn't be able to see that from playing through this part normally. And this is the room that we started in, Netrunner Operations. Interestingly enough, the ladder actually does work. You can climb on it and interact with it, which you'll see me do in just a moment. But you can't interact with the exit shaft, so it won't open at all. Now I'm going to show you how to get out of here. Now right above this ladder, you actually, instead of going under it, you want to go above it, and it will give you access to a section that you can crawl under. You'll be under a floor, so you can't jump and go into the wall, so don't worry about that. But you do want to watch your footing. You want to use the combination of the Retrothrusters and your super jump to get over here to this section. Just kind of stay on the outside of Netrunner Operations, but also hug the wall. And all you really want to do is get to the very top of this section here. And you're directly above Netrunner Operations, and this is where you want to be. Now I set a waypoint for this drop point to give me some, so I'll know which direction to head. Basically, we're gonna head in this direction, and this is how we're going to get out. Now you see these pillars here on the side stretching diagonally. What you're wanting to do is, if you don't have the Retrothrusters equipped, go ahead and re-equip them, and just simply jump up this pillar. It can be a little difficult. It took me several tries before I could get it right. Sometimes you slip off, but once you're at the very top of that pillar, you're gonna want to jump off, and you see this patch of ground that I'm about to jump on. You have to jump above that. You have to be able to make it above that. If you don't make it above that, you will fall through the stage and get stuck in a loop. Once you get over there, you'll hit ground, and you'll actually be right back at the Arasaka Memorial, where you can just jump through the wall, and you have re-entered the world, this time as Johnny controlling V's body. So off the bat, you'll notice that not a lot of NPCs are walking around, and just from exploring the map, I noticed that the only NPCs that seem to be around are the scripted ones. And by scripted, I mean every time you enter a section of a map, there's an NPC scripted to be in a certain section. So the regular NPCs that just walk around, they're not going to be there. But people like these, who are, you know, having conversations that you can listen in on, that will always be there no matter what. They will be there. You can have the cops summoned as well. Shop owners are still around. It seems the only people not around are the just random pedestrians and random cars. As you can see, I can run through the road. I turned on my trainer, so I was able to run through the road at top speed, or at a higher speed. It's actually kind of cool, because without all the NPCs around, everything seems to be loading a lot faster. I'm not getting too much pop in here like usual. And there are certain sections where you can even still find enemies spawning, and you can interact with them just like normal. But you won't have access to any of your missions because once you get to this point of the game, they'll all be canceled. And this is just, and once you get to this point of the game, they'll all be completed or failed. And this is just an example of some of the NPCs that pop up. But as you can see, it's none of the random ones that just walk around, or at least not in Night City. Once I got further away from, I'm sorry, at least not in City Center. Once I got further away from City Center, I started seeing more NPCs pop up. But as I'm driving around, and maybe it is because it's night, but there's just not as many NPCs out. But still no cars no matter where I go. None driving anyway. As you can see, you can find plenty of them parked, and you can drive those. I'll be ending the video there. Just wanted to show you guys a couple more cool things that I found while playing around with the game. With that being said, thanks again for watching, and until next time, be safe. See you later.
One eyeball ain't gonna...